over 40 now, so now the doctor's talking about he needs a glove and some lube, and he got to check some certain parts of my body. I'm still not really. I know I got to get it done. It's a part of the appointment, but for me, I was raised totally different. I'll never be comfortable with no one ever going at me and knowing they're going at me in that direction.
That's so wild. It's so wild. I hear men say that all the time. And what's so interesting is that that has become so normal, so common, right? Oh yeah, my dad, my uncles, my brother. Oh yeah, that men they don't do that. They don't. But as women, as young girls, we are programmed and taught at a very young age to be comfortable and get used to that,
No
right?
matter who's doing it, male or female.
It
No,
does not matter.
it's
And
different. It's different though. When they tell you to cough, that's one thing. When they tell you to turn around, it's totally different.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L. Brown, and Caliph Johnson Sr., the one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
All right, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems, the podcast where we discuss solutions. I'm Curtis G. Martin. I'm here with my co-host, Rhonda L. Brown.
Hey, everybody.
My other co-host, Caliph Johnson Sr.
Hey, how y'all doing? Peace.
And the third co-host, Lashika Phillips. Hey, so you guys, today we're talking about health and wellness and our normal routine that we kind of go through. So, hey, guys, so answer this. What motivates you or what prioritize the fuck? What's your health and wellness routine?
So for me, I stick to a plant-based diet, but the very first thing I do when I get up in the morning, not the very first thing, but when I start my day, I go to the gym. That's one of the first things I do. I do it every day except for Saturday. And that, I don't know, it keeps me in a routine as long as I, stick to it. I make sure I get my exercising in, stick to a plant-based diet. Chica, how about you?
for me, I love yoga. I can tell a huge difference in my daily routine if I do not start off with yoga. I find that it's a different feel. I feel more relaxed when I do yoga first thing in the morning. I don't feel as agitated throughout the day. Like things don't really bother me. It's not things aren't an issue or problematic. I find when I do yoga, and a lot of meditation and affirmations. So get into like some spirituality, have my moment, have like my spiritual moment. Because I mean, I see when my yoga practice is spiritual, but it does have some health benefits for me. But just getting in that routine of taking time for me, focus on spirituality, focusing on breathing, that has been I can tell a huge difference throughout my day when I make time for that. So yeah.
Okay, for me, it's more or less. I work up, start up. I always start before the sunrise. So about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning is my time of arrive. That I rise, I make sure I get up. I get me a saltwater rinse. That consists of salt, lemon, cayenne, and lukewarm water. I rinse my mouth out. I gargle with it. Take a big gulp of that. Started with about 16 ounces of water. Flush my system, and I usually get to my routine. We either walking, we're doing some type of working out, some type of sit-ups, push-ups, something that's keeping my body active. And right now we've been on our 75 hard challenge. Excuse me. I saw the correction in you. But we've been on our 75 hard challenge pretty tough for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks now. we're into it by a lot of days. Just know we're on it consistently. So it consists of a gallon of water, a selfie of yourself, 2 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside, rain or shine. Um, Also reading 10 pages of some type of self improvement, financial improvement type book. So the 75 hard challenge has been pretty consistent with me. So that getting that gallon of water, and one of the queens just sent me a bottle to help me with my routine, and it's been like amazing on the getting a gallon of water down. So that's my routine.
Yeah, for me, it's once I wake up at weird hours. So my day starts at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I get up, I start with breathing. I make sure I concentrate on my breath. I don't do really yoga, but I took that from a yoga practice. Is concentrating on the breath. Make sure I get good breathing in for about 5 minutes or so. Then I get up. I drink me plenty water. I exercise a little bit. Say what I'm thankful for, and then I'll do some affirmations as well. Just self reflect. Sometimes I'll read, sometimes I don't. And then throughout the day, I just make sure I get my water in. I make sure that I try to go to 10 o'clock before I eat. And then lately, I've been not eating after 7. So it's been helping for me. It's been good. I know when I first went plant based and stopped eating meat and dairy, I don't really be saying vegan no more, but that's a whole nother story. Um, I got diagnosed with high blood pressure, and once I quit eating meat, that kind of went away. So that was some of the health benefits for me out of it. But yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So I know, Curtis, I know you say you plant based. I'm plant based. Is there chica trash? Do y'all have any dietary restrictions?
Um, For me, yes, I'm a trash vegan, so I stick to a plant-based diet, but I try and make sure mine is a lot more fun than the most traditional vegan diets or plant-based diets. So I definitely love my trashy food. So you might see me with donuts, or you might see me with some type of a cupcake, or some type of Reese's cup, or something that I found that's the latest edition out. I'm still a fan of Oreo cookies. I'm not giving up my Oreos. So it's just certain stuff that I like in the vegan world that really works for me. Um, they got bacon, everything that I could have had normally when I wasn't plant based. But for me, I'm the only plant based person in my house. My children aren't. So what I do with them, I try and keep them to a pescatarian diet, mostly seafood, and I only allow about 2 ounces of grass fed organic beef a week for my son and my daughter because they're still growing. So I don't want to change their diet. The eggs that they eat are cage free, free range eggs. So I make sure we do, even with the eggs going as high as they are, I still make sure they get really quality eggs. So that's for me and my fam.
And Sheikah, how about you?
No.
No restriction?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I got one. How often do you guys get enough sleep, and how many hours is a typical night of enough sleep?
Ooh. I
Kurt,
get probably about 4 to 6 hours of sleep.
4 to 6. Kurt, I
That's
heard you
not
say
enough.
it's definitely not enough. Kurt, I heard you said you'd be up to some weird hours.
No,
So
so you know it all depends. Some days I get enough sleep, some days I don't. Because I get up at the weird hours, and then because we do certain things, and then plus I work a 9 to 5 and trying to be an entrepreneur at the same time. So sometimes that sleep gets away from me, but I try to take naps whenever I can, so that
mhm.
to try to make up for it. But my sleep patterns be off, and my Fitbit actually tracks it, so I know when I'm off. I know when I got good hard sleep. So if I can get me 5 hours of that deep sleep, that realm I think they call it, then
Mhm.
I'm pretty good. But other than that, I don't get near as enough sleep as I should.
What about you, Shika?
I mean, it varies, right? 2 hours, 3 hours. It. I mean, I tried to. It really varies. I think for me, the amount of sleep that you get overnight, I think everybody is different. I know doctors say you have to have this amount, but depending on your routine, you may can't do 8 hours, but I love the concept of creating time for naps, right? I know that if I'm not getting 8 hours in, but if I can squeeze in, even if it's just 20 minutes of me just resting my brain, that really helps. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not the healthy sleeper in terms of getting 8 hours of sleep. But I do things though to support me when I know that I'm not getting enough sleep. Like I know staying really, really hydrated when I know I'm not going to get a lot of rest. That makes a huge, huge difference. And just being able to think, being able to move. So that's my advice. You know, we're not here to say 8 hours of sleep or else, right? It's like we know what is required for our bodies, right? So we also know that if we have opportunity to take some time back or to lay down, even if it's not just sleep, just silence, quiet, resting, I say that's better than anything.
Okay, that's dope. For me, I do my very best to get anywhere from 5 to 6 hours of hard, deep sleep, realm sleep. But honestly, it doesn't always permit itself for me. I find myself with all kind of things to do, like between the nonprofits that we work with, between the business we work with, between the 9 to 5 we work with, and then on top of that, having a family and kids and things of that nature, they require so much. And just checking on them in the middle of the night, I go in there all times of night to check on my children to make sure they're okay. My son ain't on his phone at 12 o'clock at night because he getting texts and things like that. My daughter is not up on the iPad after 11 o'clock because she's sitting there wanting to doodle on her little thing. So just checking on the family in general, trying to get 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes that kind of gets elusive. I laugh because a lot of times at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm up, Kurt's sending me something and we sending stuff back and forth. So I know we don't sleep at the regular hours, but if I get a couple out anywhere throughout the day, if I can get that half an hour sleep in, or I can pull a couple of minutes out here and there, I definitely try and get those in. But sleep is kind of elusive for me as well.
All right. So look, what type of stress reducing activities you guys go through throughout the day?
Oh, I know I meditate randomly throughout the day, depending on what's going on. If I have a lot to do and I find that I'm getting overwhelmed, I'll meditate.
That's good.
That's my go-to meditation and breath work.
Mm.
How about you, Lashika?
I do a couple of things because I don't know if I'm just easily irritated. I don't know. But I do a couple of things. I usually have one close by me. Oh, I do. So I have one of these. I'm sure y'all have seen these here lately. The So this is a bracelet. And so it has these little popping things, right? Have y'all seen these?
I have,
Uh-uh.
but didn't know I just threw one away the other day.
Yeah, don't throw them away. Send it to me. So this one is a bracelet, so I can have this on. And so while I'm in a meeting, um, yeah, sometimes it helps. It's almost kind of has that same effect of you remember years ago, doctors you would leave the doctor's office and they give you those little the squeeze
Stress
balls.
balls.
Yeah, so this is kind of like that. Also for me, music is such a huge, huge part of I don't know, of my life and just something that I go to as a tool when I need to relax. And this is something that I'm doing every single day, right? And then the other thing that I do every day, especially when I need to just take a break, take a breath, I will intentionally find something funny, whether it's a video, usually that's what it is, some silly video. And there's not a go-to for me, just anything that makes me laugh. And I recently discovered, I don't know if y'all ever heard of this, but there is such thing as laughing yoga. That is a thing. So I've tried that once, but I don't do that as a practice. But definitely finding something funny. So those are my go. Those are my go tos.
How
What about
about you,
you,
Trash?
Trash? Oh, what you say? What you say, Curtis?
No, I was finna say, how about trash as well?
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? I've come real fond of aromatherapy, like oils and stuff. I keep my bracelets on, and I keep like some different different essential oils in there. That really works for me. Whenever I get too frustrated, I always take a walk. My walks are always like my place of peace and just getting out into nature, going to the beach, grounding. Like I had a tough week last week. I had to go out to the little viewpoint where we went out there in Pedro. I go out there. Sometimes I might work from outside and just to get the stress off, just not to feel the way I felt before I got there. I can always hit the Peloton. The Peloton going on a scenic ride is just a great relief for me. I can get some great calories burned, get a great workout in, and after I'm done, those endorphins kind of trump the whatever stress I was going through before that. So between that, I can always go read, and if I just really get in my feelings too bad, I'll start writing.
Yeah, for me, I do the like Lashika, I take that walk, or whoever said they take a walk, right? I usually take a walk. I'll stretch first. I'll get up and stretch, make sure I'm calm, and then I'll take a walk, right? And usually that walk relieve me. Sometimes it won't be the first one. Um, I can't remember who I got it from, but I try now not to let more than an hour and a half go by without me getting up and taking a walk or doing some type of stretching to get away from what I'm doing to get that madness out the head and then just kind of regroup again. Sometimes when I get lost in whatever I'm doing and just kind of dazed and can't figure something out, take that walk, and during the walk it come back to me and now I'm ready to get back to what I was doing. But that's kind of me.
Okay. So what about how many of you guys take regular trips to your doctor or your healthcare physician to check on your health? Anybody go do that? Rhonda?
I don't go often. You know what I mean? I do the once a year and then that's kind of it for me. I make sure I'm doing my herbs and the people I follow, the people I connect with. I should say. I said I'm quit falling low to people, right? But anyway, the people I connect with on social medias that have these routines. I make sure I'm getting my herbs. I make sure I'm getting my vitamins, my juices, my fruits, and then I just do it once a year. Yeah.
For me, I go. I probably go too much. I go to the doctor at least twice a year.
Shika?
So is the question how often we go to the doctor? I'm trying to understand what the question is.
Do you regularly visit your doctor or other healthcare physicians to do your
Oh,
checkups
okay.
and
Yeah.
preventative measures?
I yes, I don't I'm just like
He prying with that question, huh? Yeah. How often you go to the doctor?
yeah, like wait, what? As often as like I'm trying to I guess I'm trying to understand the motivation for the question. Like I don't know. So how
Clark.
often do I go to the doctor? I go to the doctor as often as I should. Like do I go? I go once a year, but then that's one doctor. I go to like what? How deep we trying to get?
I think it was because men have this thing to
That's
where they don't think that they need to go to the doctor.
that's the main
So
reason. That's the main reason I
Okay,
said
see
that.
now we're getting somewhere.
yeah,
Now
Now
we
we
get
getting
somewhere.
somewhere. Okay,
And I was
okay.
gonna talk. I was gonna talk about it when when it got to me. But you got the floor, sis. Go ahead.
No, no, I think it's important. I think what's important here is for people, for all of us to recognize that we should not be only going to the doctor when we feel something wrong, right? We should have a regular, we should have a healthy relationship with our physician. And if we don't feel comfortable with our physician being able to ask questions about anything pertaining to our health, then it's time to investigate and find someone else. Also, if we have any type of apprehension and hesitation into going to a doctor, I think that's also a great time to take a step back, maybe evaluate what are your needs, what is important for you to feel comfortable to go to the doctor, like really look at those things because, everybody's need to see a physician is different, right? But what's important is don't wait until something is broken. Don't wait until you feel something different, right? We have to be proactive, and I think that's one of the biggest problems in the Black community. I mean, it's a lot of problems there, but then when you look at when we show up at the doctor's offices, how many of us are really getting the care that we need, right? How many of us are being mistreated or our pain being discounted just because of how we look, right? So I think those are some things that we have to ask ourselves and then do our own work, right?
Mhm.
So I appreciate the question. I was kind of joking. I feel like that's where we were going with it, but at the same time, right? I think that's a natural response. And so for those that's watching this, when you're asked about your medical concerns, don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up and ask those questions. So, what were you gonna say, Trash?
I was saying that was kind of the whole purpose of that question because us as men, melanated men in our community, is something that we kind of shy away from is going to take a regular trip to the doctor, even if it's just your once a year. Um,
Yeah.
I'm totally transparent. I go through things in my life. I'm actually looking for a therapist right now. Just because it's somebody you go sit down and talk to and see what's going on with your mental health, make sure you're already you all the way on a level playing field, like you're playing fair. So it's the stuff that I'm going through in life that I always try and make sure I'm the best version of myself, not just for me, but for my family, for my community. If you want to be a good shepherd of your community, you definitely want to make sure you're good when you're going into it. I have friends that are my age that really don't go see the doctor, and they wait until something is all the way hurting them or they're all the way bad, then they want to go check. I have people that don't go see their dentist on a regular. Like the dentist is an important trip that you need to take. You need to see your podiatrist. You just need to see certain things that keep your body health up and tuned up, maintenance the way it should be. And if you're not taking those trips, you really don't have a clue what's right or wrong, and you don't know what's going on. It's a lot going on in medicine right now. And the last thing you want is to get a bunch of pills handed to you telling you this is the only way you're going to stay alive when you can actually be doing some preventative work right now before that gets to that point. And that was all I was hitting on that question for.
That's good. And I think what's also important for us to remember is, and I just found this out last week. I don't even remember how it came up in conversation, but I learned that with Medicaid, okay, the health insurance,
Hmm.
that after 65, there are certain benefits or certain procedures or doctor's visits that are not covered for women but are covered for men. So for instance, I did not know that at after 65 a woman cannot, it's not included in Medicare, is her well woman visit, okay? But for men, they can go and be seen after 65.
Wow.
I thought that was interesting. I don't know, if that's going to change, but I didn't know if y'all were aware of that, but just that
Had no
there
clue.
are disparities when we look at healthcare and when we look at genders, right?
Mm.
And so I know how it came up. One of my friends, she's a caregiver for her mom, and her mom is going through chemo right now. And so the chemo was causing her, the medicine, other medicines was causing her to have a really bad reaction, which would require her to be seen by a well woman doctor, right, or a gynecologist.
Hmm.
And she just so happens that her mom is on Medicaid. And then that's when they discovered, hey, women after 65, that's not included. We're like, what?
That's
What?
crazy.
So just knowing things like that. So while we are talking about health for us, it's also up to us, right, to be those advocates for the older people in our families and in our communities, right? So just wanted to put that out there. It's not just about us, but the people who we are taking care of and under our care.
Right. And we do have to be aware too that just because the doctor tells us something, we still need to do our own research, because the doctors are practicing medicine.
Practicing medicine.
Practicing.
Like, like you can't just take them for their word. Like, do your own research and, like Lashika was saying, advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
So I have a question, and I know I've been wanting to look into some of these, but have y'all tried any alternative or complementary therapies like to support your health and wellness?
What
Like,
you mean, like
like
acupuncture
yep,
or? Oh, okay.
yep.
I don't like needles. I'll just say that I don't like needles, so acupuncture wouldn't work for me. I have tried the cupping, like
Hmm.
in a massage therapist. I've tried the cupping, and it actually works wonders as far as getting your body well and seeing an ART specialist or MRT specialist to get your body stretched out and cracked, kind of like chiropractor. Like a chiropractor or something, but it's kind of like more sports medicine, just getting your body in tune. Because when you run a lot, I used to run a lot of miles a week. So, now I'm on the Peloton a lot of miles a week. So it's just keeping your body tuned up, keeping your muscles tuned up, and making sure your body is hydrated enough to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not into any of them other type of stuff. I knew this guy. He was telling me I need to do one of them cleanses from the back. I forget what they call them, right? Where
A
they pump water up
colonoscopy.
where they pump water up your stomach.
A
A
colonic.
colonoscopy.
No, it's like
Oh,
a
the
colonic or
Alana.
something. Yeah, where
colonic.
they pump your stomach up from the back and, and fill you up with water. Then they suction everything out. So I thought about doing that maybe once, but I'm not into like the needles and the cups. But the chiropractor thing sound good. I think that I had that a couple of times, but I want to put that in. But other than that, I don't do anything. I know. I think one thing I've realized is that stretching is really, really important, right? Like, I don't know if y'all watch your animals. I know all y'all have animals, right? Rondo, maybe not, but watch your animal. When you come in the room and he gets up, that motherfucker stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He stretches.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He stretches. Oh shit! All right, what's doing? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? I'm ready now, right? But we don't. We sit down and relax and lay down, then just get up and walk
Get it.
around. No, we got to stretch, right? That's what make you feel good, right? Think about all the athletes. What they do before they get started, they stretch, right? Everything is
Mhm.
stretching. When you do have an injury, they send you to those what they call them, the therapists, right?
Physical
Sports
therapist.
medicine.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you go to physical therapy. What they have you doing? Stretching. So stretching is
Mm-hmm.
really, really important. So I want to make sure I get a lot of stretching in.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And massage, and when they massage your pressure points and stuff, like
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
you might like that better than
I
acupuncture.
do like I like massages, but I, I I like massages, so anybody can't just be rubbing on me and shit. So, you know what I'm talking about? Like, no, hey, don't touch
Oh,
me
so
right
you
there.
like massages?
Yeah, no, I do.
Y'all are funny. Y'all are real funny. I just need to say that.
No, that's real. Like too much massage. Like I can go for like if I went out to get one, I want one of them deep ones where you kind of like,
Yeah.
damn, dude, don't do it so hard.
Yeah.
Damn, honey, don't like
Yeah.
right.
Elbow
Yeah.
Like I
ring.
can't go for them smooth ones. Like no, that's
Hold
not
on.
good.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. What are we doing here?
Oh shit.
That's
Hey,
funny.
with the colonic, I don't think I heard about the colonics, and they say they're really good for doing some flushing out. I'm just not comfortable with anything going in that direction towards me. Just personally, I'm over 40 now. I'm over 40 now, so now the doctor's talking about he needs a glove and some lube, and he got to check some certain parts of my body. I'm still not really. I know I got to get it done. It's a part of the appointment, but for me, I was raised totally different. I'll never be comfortable with no one ever going at me and knowing they're going at me in that direction.
That's so wild. It's so wild. I hear men say that all the time. And what's so interesting is that that has become so normal, so common, right? Oh yeah, my dad, my uncles, my brother. Oh yeah, that men they don't do that. They don't. But as women, as young girls, we are programmed and taught at a very young age to be comfortable and get used to that,
No
right?
matter who's doing it, male or female.
It
No,
does not matter.
it's
And
different. It's different though. When they tell you to cough, that's one thing. When they tell you to turn around, it's totally different.
so you
You
think the woman laying on the guy? And I know we weren't trying to
no,
go here, but
it's
we
not
here,
different.
right?
It's not different.
they say they're saying
That's not
coughing
what I'm
too.
That's not what
Right?
I'm talking about, though. I'm saying the doctor, he's when he grabs you and he's checking you, we get our testicles checked and everything, and they tell you to cough to make sure everything is in alignment.
Uh
But
huh.
now, when the same doctor telling you to turn around, he got a glove on and some lube. It's a different type of ball game. What are we doing here? These are
Ball game. He said,
what are we doing here?
Hey,
What are we
look,
doing?
but at some point, man, we got to teach that we can't be scared that all of a sudden we lead a doctor and we gay, right?
It's
"That's
not. It's
right."
not that.
No,
It's
no,
not
but
that.
that's the
It's just.
stigmatism behind it.
It's just something
That's the
occurred.
stigmatism behind it.
I was raised as your manhood back there. Don't nobody bother it. So now you got it.
Actually,
Now
that would be your womanhood.
What?
where did this go left at? Hold on. It just went left. It went all the way
I'm
to
just
the left.
saying, man. Like at some point, we can't put it into no
That's how
sexual context of being
Right.
healthy, right? Like that's my
Right.
point.
I
Like
hear you. It's just an
Yeah.
uncomfortable
And my
no,
topic
I
when
point,
you
get it.
talk about
And
gloves and lube.
I ain't saying that's the same thing with me with the whole water thing, right? Like
Hold your chin up. Hold your
yeah,
chin up, bro.
yeah,
Say it with your chest. But
yeah. The whole thing is at some point we got to teach the young men coming
yes.
under us that you have to get checked because
Absolutely.
like
That's
if
my only point. That why
yeah
have we programmed our young girls that it's okay, right? That this is something that is required of you. You have to do this. And so it's not a problem. And then our young men,
yeah
they
yeah
struggle. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is. But Curtis, I think you hit it. I think it does. There is some truth around what you said about there being this stigma around it. If I do this, am I prone to be gay now? Or
yeah
or I totally get what you mean by that.
yeah. It's all
Hmm.
in jokes, but at the same time, it's real.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah, it is.
So what about hobbies or activities that support like mental health? Because y'all look, y'all know we be having some stressful days.
Yeah.
So are there
So,
like is there anything that y'all do?
yeah. So I don't know if y'all. I think y'all might know this. I don't know. I love to dance. Love to dance. I used to be a part of this salsa group for about I don't know 4 or 5 years, and we was salsa dance. It was like every Sunday and some Saturdays, and it was so much fun. That really helps me. Another thing is it's not necessarily physically involved per se, but karaoke will put me in a I can get in a really happy mood after some good old karaoke. I see you laughing, Trash. You karaoke?
Al, you will never get me singing on nobody's stage. That's not in me. Don't ask me to. We can go hang out. We were looking for something to do, like when we were out here, and like, yo, don't ask me to sing. I'm not a singer. I'm not gonna
I'm
get
not
up there and
either.
rap. I'm not a singer. I'm not a karaoke. Don't. I never have enough sprite in my system to get up there and just want to go out there and let out a tune or two. It's just certain things that you know you're good at, and you stay away from other stuff that even if they say it's fun, I'm gonna have fun watching y'all. Not me.
I know for me, I do well, y'all already know I do art projects. I do paintings or, anything that can get just to get my mind off of everyday things. So I put it into my art.
I do art. I did one around those art classes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I got a couple of paintings here that I've done with Rhonda. I definitely will express myself. Sometimes I used to draw a little bit, So drawing is pretty cool, but I'm not a great artist, but I don't mind doing creative stuff like that. But for me, just generally just going to work out, like getting outside and doing stuff, creating. I work with athletes a lot, so just getting out there with the youth and just having a good time running around. But singing, oh man, that's just one of those uncomfortable things to me. That has me nervous as ever. I don't know. I don't want to embarrass myself. I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not. So people have an enjoyment of embarrassing themselves and thinking it's fun. It's just never been something that I got into.
It can be therapeutic. So one thing I do is I'll turn the music on because everybody in my house wake up grumpy, and I do this weird thing of I'ma always be positive, right?
Yeah.
So when I get up, I practice positivity. I'm talking about I can be in my car. I'll roll rage sometimes. I ain't got fully past all of that, so I still do the whole look at this asshole, right? Like, but I'll get behind somebody and they sitting at the light when the light change. I won't even blow my horn. I know
Nah.
they on their phone, the traffic didn't move because I'm trying to stay within myself, right? So,
Hmm.
but that therapeuticness of singing, I'll what's the new girl? Not Siri. Hey, Alexa, turn
Hmm.
on Remember the Time, the new
He
girl.
said new girl.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna
Alexa,
say Chat GPT.
yeah.
That's a new girl.
Hey, turn on some music, right? She plays some music, and I'll be in there singing and dancing, and then everybody will start laughing at me, like, "Daddy, you weird, you weird." Next thing I know, they being goofy and singing and dancing, right? So the mood just brighten up in the whole house,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
So
hold
it is
on.
therapeutic.
I didn't say I didn't sing to myself in the car. I sing to myself in the car. Well, no one else will ever hear it though. That's not for anyone else's ears. Those are only for my ear. If it's certain songs that come on, oh, I can sing it. Like, oh, my Prince song come on, I got bar for that. No one else will ever hear that. No, like
That's
you,
funny.
you just won't. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Like I said, it is therapeutic, and I definitely feel y'all on good vibrations with music. There's certain songs that just make me feel better. Like I can put them
Mhm.
on at any time of day or night, no matter what I'm going through. Some of them even are emotionally enough attached to me that I can share the tear if I'm going through the right thing at the wrong time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It'll take me to the it'll take me to that. So that's me, y'all.
All right, you guys. So, have you noticed any improvements in your physical or mental health since being on your journey to health and wellness routines?
I have. I don't know. Well, you can say something.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I have. So for me, it's wild because I feel like I've had in the past maybe 15 years, I feel like I've had at least four major medical concerns that have altered my health and wellness journey, right? And so each time it has changed. I feel like where I am now, um, it's different. So I went through one um like really huge medical issue, and I ended up becoming a vegan. Like this was umpteen years ago, right? And so I was living that lifestyle for about maybe 7, 8 years. And so then when I began to incorporate meat and dairy into my diet, life went on as usual, no problems. But then bam, something major happened in my health that made me to revisit other things within my wellness plan, or how I was navigating even work and stress around work and just stress, period, right? And so with that, I've been able to incorporate more breathing exercises. I realized that breathing really helps manage. I can manage my blood pressures better with breathing exercises. And then lately, it was a really really bad car accident where I had traumatic brain injury, where it's like after the accident, like kind of stuttering or not sure when I'm gonna just start slurring or words aren't coming out right. And so with that, now I incorporate mental exercises, right? There are verbal exercises to help me with that. So for me, the answer is yes, and I've been able to adapt and evolve kind of along the way. And I'm pretty sure it'll change maybe in a couple of years. But yeah, I think it changes as we evolve. What were you gonna say, Rhonda?
I would say definitely yes for me. I mean, I went from having a whole Ziploc bag full of medications to, only taking one and then some supplements and stuff, going from not being able to walk to, you know, I'm actually getting around pretty good these days. So I've definitely seen improvements and hopefully, continue to see them.
Hmm.
How about you, Trash?
I I'll say absolutely because I was about 300 pounds when I really got on my health kick, and I really started taking my life seriously as far as what I was doing, putting into it, and what I was getting out of my body. I never thought I'd be able to do 15 miles on a Peloton, just pushing on a bike. I never thought that I'd be able to go out there and run 7 miles and just be able to not kill myself. That was just me, things that I went through, and just putting those same efforts and energy to make sure my kids have a really good healthy life as well. So I think everything happens for a reason, but that was my journey.
Yeah, for me, when I first started about almost 9 years ago now, I lost over 50 pounds in the first 6 months. Been able to keep the weight off. Just trying to get on a steady regimen now to get to where I can go more plant based. I'm looking to go more plant based, but my blood pressure, like I said, my blood pressure evened out. Never had to get on blood pressure medicine. Um, Took it serious, right? Like some people, the doctor have to tell us to do things, and when they tell us they're gonna give us some medicine, and then just to live, now we taking the medicine. But when we don't want to take the medicine, we got to do what it takes to get there. And so I'm sticking with it. So I have seen benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you
Okay.
guys, we got problems, but we also have solutions, and we out.
Peace.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.